Welcome to Rugby Obsession. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay in the loop, because each week we're taking you on a deep dive into the world of rugby.
Into the thick of it.
Yeah, you know it. Today we're focusing on the reigning Rugby World Cup champions, the South African Springboks, and a strategic move they're making.
Ooh, sounds interesting. What's the play?
Well, it looks like they're getting ready for a potential third consecutive World Cup title in 2027.
Hold on, 3 in a row? That would be unbelievable.
Unprecedented, some might say. We're talking about their player management, how they're setting up their squad for long-term success.
Ah, smart. So not just about the talent, but where that talent is playing and developing.
You got it. We're digging into a great long read from RugbyPass, how the Springboks are looking east for a World Cup three-peat by John Cardinelli. Came out just last month, March 2025.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. Really insightful look into their long-term vision.
Absolutely. And that's what we're exploring today. It's not just about selecting the best players, but strategically positioning them for global dominance leading up to 2027.
I'm all ears.
Well, think about it. The Springboks, they just won the 2024 World Cup. Still feels pretty incredible, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Still gives me chills thinking about it.
But they're not resting on their laurels. They've brought Felix Jones back into the coaching setup.
Smart move. Remember what he did with the attack in the lead up to the last World Cup?
Exactly. And Rassie Erasmus has named a huge 84-player training group.
Wow, 84. That's a statement of intent right there.
And to top it off, Andre Pollard is back with the Bulls. All of these are early, deliberate moves for the next World Cup cycle.
They're not wasting any time, are they? It's clear they have a plan.
And what's even more impressive is their ambition, their goal, World Cup three-peat. You know, that's historic territory.
Never been done before.
Exactly. And all these proactive steps point towards a carefully crafted strategy. So let's dig into one particularly interesting aspect, where the Springbok players are choosing to play their club rugby.
Where they're playing their trade.
Right. It seems like fewer of them are playing in Europe compared to a few years ago.
Interesting. So where are they heading instead?
Well, the prediction is that by 2027, a significant chunk of the squad could be playing in either South Africa or Japan.
Japan? That's a bit of a surprise.
It is, but it's a growing trend. Remember, back in 2021, most of the overseas-based Boks were playing in England and France.
The traditional powerhouses of club rugby.
But now, the landscape is shifting east. As many as 11 Springboks are currently playing in Japan's Rugby League One.
11. So it's not just a handful of players, it's a real movement.
And it's not just any players. We're talking world-class talent. Names like Cheslin Colby, Demi Dealond, Faf de Klerk.
Jasper Wise, too. The powerhouse number 8.
Oh, and don't forget Lou de Jager and Franco Mostert. All these guys have made the move to Japan. So what's the attraction? Why are they heading east?
Well, the article points out a couple of key reasons. One of the biggest is player welfare and availability.
Right, because those European leagues can be brutal.
Absolutely. Non-stop, high-intensity matches week after week.
So Japan offers a bit more breathing room.
It seems so. The Japan season runs from December to May. It's less congested, fewer matches.
That's got to be good for recovery and conditioning, especially if you're looking to peak for a World Cup.
It makes perfect sense. And the article highlights another benefit. Better availability for international duty.
Ah, that's crucial for any national team.
Exactly. Players in Japan are generally available for a larger chunk of the test season.
Makes sense. Their season finishes earlier.
And they can participate in those crucial pre-July training camps. Whereas getting European-based players released...
Always a battle, right?
Always a negotiation. Often they're tied up with their clubs until right before the first test. So having those Japan-based players available earlier is a huge advantage for the Springboks.
Makes a difference in terms of preparation and team cohesion.
No doubt about it. And there's another factor at play here, the financial side of things.
Yeah, money talks.
Well, it's a reality, isn't it? The article mentions that Rassie Erasmus alluded to this. Having a good number of players in Japan helps manage the overall player's salary expenditure.
So it's a bit more cost-effective.
Seems that way, and there's a knock-on effect that benefits South African rugby as a whole.
Oh, how so?
Well, if all those experienced players are heading overseas, it creates opportunities for younger players in South Africa's United Rugby Championship teams.
Ah, the next generation coming through.
Exactly. They get more game time, more experience at a high level.
Strengthens the depth of South African rugby.
It's a strategic flow of talent. Everyone benefits.
It's a win-win. Now, it's not just about Japan. We're also seeing some seasoned veterans returning to play in South Africa.
Yeah, guys who've been there, done that, coming back home.
like Andre Pollard, back with the
A
Bulls.
big signing for them.
And it's not just about playing either. Dwayne Vermeulen, he's transitioned into a coaching role.
Passing on his knowledge to the next generation.
And Willie LaRue, he's operating as a player coach. So they're keeping that experience within the Springbok environment.
That's invaluable, especially for a team with World Cup ambitions.
Mentorship and leadership, it's as important as talent on the field. And we can't forget, the article reminds us that players like Eben Etzebeth, Siai Khaleesi,
And Cobus Reinach, he's joining the Stormers in the 2025-26 season.
that's a lot of leadership and experience based right there in South Africa.
A strong core for the national team to build around.
And we've seen the positive impact of players returning to South Africa, guys like Andre Esterhuizen and Wilco Liu.
They've flourished since coming back, boosted their national team prospects.
And even players who might be on the fringes of the Springbok squad, their return strengthens the local franchises, adds depth and competition.
Makes the whole system stronger.
But it's not just about where they play, is it? It's also about how they're managed.
Absolutely. Workload management is critical, especially as players get older.
The article delves into this. While South Africa-based players have a long season, there are agreements in place to limit their game time.
Sensible approach.
32 matches annually, with mandated rest periods.
Trying to prevent burnout and injuries.
Smart thinking. But in Europe, well, it's a different story. Player management is often at the whim of the individual clubs.
The club comes first.
Exactly. They have their own priorities. The article gives the example of Jasper Wise playing a whopping 37 games in a single season for Leicester.
That's a lot of rugby.
It really highlights the potential for overload in those European leagues. So Japan offers a less taxing schedule. And the Springboks are also thinking outside the box when it comes to assessing player readiness. It's not just about age anymore.
Interesting. So what are they looking at?
Well, they're taking a more holistic view. The article quotes Andy Edwards, the Springboks head of athletic performance. He emphasizes that a player's overall career workload.
How much rugby they've played over the years.
Exactly. And their history of rest and recovery, those are more reliable indicators of their physical state than just their age.
Makes sense. You can have a 35-year-old who's played a ton of rugby and is worn down.
And you can have a 38-year-old who's managed their workload well and is still in great shape.
Like some of the Springboks who won the 2023 World Cup.
Precisely. They were a relatively experienced squad and they triumphed. So as we look ahead to 2027, what does this strategic focus on Japan and the return of veterans tell us?
Well, according to the RugbyPass article, it seems Rassie Erasmus and the coaching team are going to keep experimenting with player selections over the next couple of years.
Testing different combinations.
Building a squad that's well-rounded, adaptable, ready for anything.
And this move to Japan, having those key players in a less demanding environment,
Combined with the experience and leadership back home in South Africa.
it's all part of their grand plan for a third consecutive World Cup title.
A bold ambition.
But they're putting the pieces in place. It's a really forward-thinking strategy. What stands out to you the most about this approach?
I think it's the integrated approach to player welfare, availability, and development. They're ticking all the boxes.
Maximizing their chances of having a fresh, experienced, and cohesive squad come 2027.
They're leaving no stone unturned.
Now, we want to hear your thoughts on all of this. Do you think this strategic focus on players in Japan and the return of veterans to South Africa will give the Springboks an edge at the 2027 World Cup?
Will it be the key to that historic three-peat?
Let us know in the comments. Share your opinions. We're really keen to hear what you think. And while you're at it, make sure you're subscribed to Rugby Obsession so you don't miss out on our future deep dives into the world of rugby.
There's always something interesting to unpack.
There certainly is. And that concludes our look at the Springboks' eastward strategy. Hope you found it insightful. We've broken down their long-term planning, and now you have a clearer understanding of their vision for 2027.
It's a fascinating blueprint for success.
Make sure you're subscribed to Rugby Obsession so you don't miss our next deep dives into the captivating world of rugby. Thanks for listening to Rugby Obsession. We'll be back soon with another episode.
Until then, keep the rugby fires burning.
Absolutely. Cheers.